Hi, I'm Tina McElroy Anza, and welcome to Two Old Chicks Who Know a Lot of Shit. I'm here, as always, happily with my partner and my friend, my podcast co-host, my co-editor on Meeting at the Table, my friend and my Golden Girl Spelman friend, and my freshman college roommate, Wanda.
You had to throw Golden Girl in there, Tina? Come on now.
Yeah, you know, we claim this. You know, we'll have to tell our guests about this later on. But you know, we grab back old. We love old and golden and silver and all of that. So what you been up to, Wanda?
You know, that's a good question. I haven't been up to much. I'm getting ready to go on vacation. I'm going to go visit the newlyweds in Florida. How long do newlyweds stay newlywed? Because they've got a 1-year anniversary coming up. So
yeah, they better newlywed quick.
But the real question is, how are you? Because you've been hosting company, you've been gallivanting around your island, curating cultural experiences for your friends and all that. So how are you doing?
Phew, child, let me tell you. Well, the first thing I have to tell you is this. Well, all of it was wonderful. It's just that you and I are not, used to being out a lot. The old chicks know our limits. But as you can see, I am wearing beautiful earrings, and I have to tell you, they are a gift from your and my sister's friend and Spelman College President Emeritus, and that would be Dr. Janetta B. Cole. And her hubby, who was traveling with her, the two of them. Oh, they're so adorable. They were traveling, they wanted an experience. She called me, and when Dr. Janetta B. Cole calls you, you listen.
No. She called me because she couldn't find you.
Oh, right.
And so I'm thinking, Janetta Cole is calling me. How can I find Tina?
She tracked me down.
So
she came and she had asked me to curate a Geechee Gullah Geechee experience for her here on St. Simon's Island for her and her husband. And I was thrilled to do that. So I collected some folks who could talk to them, local folks who could really give them the lowdown. And we went a couple of places and looked at some historic things, took some pictures at the school, and we had lunches and dinner for like 4 days. I mean, woo, child. I'm not used to going out, and I'm not used to driving. You know that, and but it was really fun. And then I had friends who were in the area. I have to tell you, my little schoolgirls, I love them so much. Wanda, she and her husband were in Savannah, and they had to go back to Atlanta to catch their flight. They came 100 miles south to see me, and then had to drive back. So the hubby of the group was looking at his watch. He was the driver. So they only stayed a few hours, and that was wonderful. So, child, I've just turned a social butterfly.
That's what I was going to say, a social butterfly. Well, let me just say this. The first night you were out with Janetta Cole, I waited for you to call me. I waited. I'm like, it's dark out there. You know how our parents, you better be home before the street lights come. I'm like, where is Tina? She's not home. 9 o'clock came, 9:30 came, 10 o'clock came, 10:30, maybe about 11 o'clock. You were dragging your butt back in the house. I said, Tina, let me tell you something. I feel like the parent of teenagers. You know how when the teenagers are out, even if they don't live with you anymore, like if they're off to college or something, I still can't go to sleep until they come in the house, even though they, I don't know what they're doing when they're not here. So
I felt like that. Exactly.
I felt like that. I felt like the parent of a teenager who couldn't get enough sleep. So I was so glad when you called me and told me you were either home or on the way home, because I was tired.
It was Wanda, I felt like a teenager myself with my mama's call, at 11:45 for the first time ever. And on top of that, Dr. C and her husband was staying on my end of the island. So after we had dinner one night, our guest, who is a Jazz Watts, he's a wonderful preservationist. He's Geechee Gullah. His mother's from Sapelo. His father's from St. Simon's Island. And so, we had all these people, and he would say, oh yeah, Tina, y'all on the same end of the island, Dr. C and JD, just follow Tina home. I was thinking, oh God, not only am I driving this late, I'm responsible for Dr. Cole and her husband getting home safely. Girl, you should have seen me. I was just like this.
I know you
the
were.
wheel holding it. I did, but I got them home and I got myself home, and it was like really wonderful. It really was.
Good.
You know.
Hey Tina,
you know. Huh?
Where'd you get those earrings?
Oh yeah, these are the earrings. Aren't they beautiful? South African earrings. Janetta is known for her connection to African art and African art because she was the director of the African Museum.
The African American Museum, but she's but she's also an anthropologist by trade.
By trade, she's an anthropologist. So she's interested in all of that. And she blessed me with these beautiful earrings after she had been here on the island. So I mean, I couldn't have asked for anything else. And people who, when y'all look at the YouTube of this episode, you will see that once again, Wanda and I are vibing. We had no idea we were both going to be wearing red, but I wore red to show off my earrings. Wanda just wore red because she looks good in it.
It was the first thing I pulled out of the closet. So, Tina, I did not have the kind of excitement you've been having, but I curated something. I curated a gospel cruise for the old folks at my church. We call ourselves the Young at Heart Ministry, and I am the events coordinator for them.
Of course.
So we went, as they say in Savannah, down the river.
Went down the river.
That's what they call it, down the river. It's, I don't know what river goes up and down. I don't know how, I don't think rivers flow up and down, but anyway.
Excuse me, except the St. Johns River in Florida, it flows north.
Yeah, but in Savannah, they call it down the river. So anyway.
Down the river, it could be anywhere, Wanda, and if the folks call it down the river, they call it down the river.
Mm-hmm. So they do a cruise on the Georgia Queen, a gospel cruise every Monday. There's a wonderful gospel choir and they engage the audience, and there's Southern cuisine and low country dinner, buffet dinner. So you get to eat, you get to fellowship with people, you get to listen to the music. Some people in the audience were invited to sing a few bars of some of the gospel songs. I didn't, but my pastor did, and some other people.
I know you share that with your pastor. He has a good voice. It's very good and very presenting. Well, gospel is one of Wanda's favorite music.
Yeah.
Y'all may have learned that if you saw the last show of Getting to Know You.
Yeah.
Is that what we call it? Let me ask you a question.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what I did. But I'm looking forward to our guest today. We have a new friend who is breaking new ground in the business world. So I look forward to our main segment. And we can you say gig economy? Just stay tuned.
Gig economy. Called HERide, capital H, capital E, capital R, IDE. It's called HERide. It's protecting women. We're all about women and definitely about protecting them. And we're also about women who are smart and enterprising and all the rest. And I guess there's someone who is making an impact for women in this season of gig economy, GIG. Her company, HERide, is not only designed to serve and protect women, but it also helps women build income and wealth, which is also what we're about. Wanda, you brought our guest to this episode, so why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Great. I am delighted, Tina. Now, conventional wisdom tells us that if someone sees a problem and they come up with a great solution, that's probably a good business decision. Yes. Our guest today is Jillian Anderson, who came up with a solution primarily for women who want to use ride shares but be safe, and for women who want to make money in this gig economy. Jillian created HERide in 2020 in the Atlanta area. She started in Atlanta, so we're going to talk about that. I'm excited to introduce her. She is the founder and chief technology officer for HERide, a company she launched in Atlanta, as I said. In fact, she was a rideshare driver for a while, and we'll let her tell us about that. And she's been a professional basketball player also. So Jillian, welcome to Old Chicks. We're so glad to meet you and to have you join us. Tell us a little bit about yourself personally. You played ball in college, right? And was that at Albany State? I think I read somewhere that you played at Albany State.
Yes, so I went to Albany State. First of all, thank you guys for having me.
Great.
Hello.
Excuse
but
me, can I
yes,
say
I
well?
did. I
I want
played
to
at
say welcome to. Oops, I want to say welcome to you, Jillian. I'm sorry, I was thinking about our interview and I kind of slept that. Excuse me, but welcome to the show. We are very excited to hear about your business idea, decision, and give us some some hints as well.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Mhm.
No, I'm
But
sorry.
yes, I did. I did go to
Interrupted you. We're
Albany State
talking about.
University. I came in on a track scholarship. I walked on the volleyball team, played
Oh,
volleyball while I was there, and then finished out my eligibility playing basketball. So yes, I played 3 different sports while I was in school.
wow. That's very impressive. And then
Thank
were
you.
you
Wanda's daughters played sports as well in school. You know that
yeah.
that trajectory, huh?
Yeah, I was a basketball mom. So
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
I got my little pen still, my little silver pen. It says basketball mom number 33.
There
And
you
you
go. You
also
know the
played
life.
you also played pro ball
I
for a
did. I
time,
played a
didn't you?
season in Morocco.
Good, great.
Right,
So
right.
let me just put a little context as to why we invited you on the show. Over the past few years, thousands of people have reported crimes, mostly sexual assault, while using some rideshare companies. And let's be real, about 90% of those crimes are against women when they're doing rideshare. So Jillian, is this how you came up with the idea for HERide? Was crime your motivating factor, or what got you started on this?
And also, we want to tell you
It was
what
mainly.
her ride is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no problem. So HERide is a female-friendly rideshare app. So we are basically just like Uber and Lyft. We are a rideshare company where we're made for women by women. All of the drivers on our platform are women, and so we cater to everyone when it comes to giving rides out. But like I said, all of the drivers on our platform are women. Our drivers, they make 80% of the fares, so they keep 80% of the money whenever they complete a ride. We keep 20%, and then right now we're only available in the Atlanta area. So yes, the idea came from me driving. I was actually driving rideshare as my full-time job. I would drive between Ubers. I would do Lyft. I would do DoorDash. I would do pretty much any gig app that was available in the city. I believe there's an app called Roadie out. I did that as well, where you just pick up packages and deliver them to people's houses. So I did pretty much any gig work that I could find. It works out with my schedule pretty well. You'll notice a lot of people my age, between my age range, actually prefer gig industry jobs because you can set your own schedule. And so that's what I used to do. And when I would drive women at night, they would tell me over and over again, I was canceling rides till I got a woman driver, or I would cancel a ride until I recognized like a woman's name. They would ask me if I could get if they could get my personal number so they can just do cash rides or just pay me through Apple Pay instead of paying me through the app. Some of them have shared weird experiences that they've had, uncomfortable
Like that.
experiences that they've had with other drivers before. So like just hearing that over and over again, it just I was listening to a podcast, found out that Lyft was started by 2 people. And so I was like, oh, I think I can do something like this as well. My background's actually in computer science. That's what I went to school for. And
Okay.
so that's what I got my degree in. And so so I took, that knowledge, did some research, and that's what I put my money and my time and invested the last 3 years of my life in.
Wow.
That's
Let me ask you this. I'm sorry, Wanda and I both have questions. Did you expect to be a business owner? Is this something that was in your mind? Was there a trajectory or a plan, or did this come to you just because of what you just said? You listened to all these women and you saw a need and filled it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always had a job. I've been working since I was 12. I've had opportunities to become like a manager or things of that nature. And I've never taken them just because I've always felt like I could start a business that's better than the one that I'm working at or something like that. And it's just like, I guess that's just always been in my nature, is to be an entrepreneur. But I've always kept a job. So I do kind of like, yes, you can, like, the people around me, they're like, yes, this is definitely in line with Jill and whatever that, her life path, because I've been doing stuff like this since college. I started a clothing line in college. I used to customize hats. I taught myself how to cut hair. So yeah, I did a lot.
You're that
while I was
girl.
just
Okay, well, no,
yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
that
right.
you
yeah,
realize that
I'm always
you're
doing
that good.
something.
You're in good company. Well,
Yeah.
I asked that because I just wanted. I guess there are people who are listening who will be encouraged by what you say, and they'll think, "Oh gosh, that's a great idea." You know, how come someone didn't think of that before? I know that you want to go to other cities, and I'm sure there are women in other cities, you know, who are interested maybe in starting this same kind of thing. But I know that you're the original. So do you plan to expand to other
Yeah,
cities?
so we do want to expand other cities. I'm interested in expanding once we have at least 1,000 drivers in Atlanta driving. I want them giving at least 10 rides a week. I'll be comfortable expanding to another city once we do that, and then we'll pretty much replicate the same thing that we did in Atlanta and every other city from there. And then if we need to expand in multiple cities at multiple times, preferably if we receive the funding that we're trying to raise, we'll be able to do that as well.
So you've already been raising funds, and you're still out there raising more money?
Yes, ma'am. So we actually just completed our family and friends round. And so we did a small fund of $30,000 for a raise. And so we finished that. We just finished that last month, and now we're going into our pre-seed round. And so we're trying to raise 1.5 million right now.
Wow.
And so yes, so that's how much Uber and Lyft first raised. When they first kind of came on the scene, a lot of people don't know that that's the amount of money that they raised. They pretty much threw all of that money into marketing and advertising, and that's how you've grown to know those two names as the only two names in rideshare now, because they were very strategic about how they spent that money. And so we kind of want to do the same thing. So that's our current ask right now. And I feel like, being in
Are you
Atlanta,
open to
we're gonna,
investors?
oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, if there is,
We're
I
open to
just
serious investors. Yeah.
Listen, wait a minute, Jillian. Let's take this moment and pause.
Okay.
This is a great idea. If there are any investors out there who who want to support Jillian, support this idea or make some money, I think this is what business is for. They can.
I was actually thinking about Shark Tank, which is one of my favorite business TV shows. Boy, I bet if you took this to Shark Tank, you'd have your money immediately. You'd have to give up something. So I know you have to think about, whether you actually want to do that, because they want equity. They want big
Oh
equity.
yeah, they are some sharks out there, but
They're sharks. They tell you.
we're
They
ready. I
tell
mean,
you up front.
we're prepared to offer a good amount of equity if the numbers are right. We've been asked to participate in a couple of pitch competitions. So we are, actively raising money, getting our faces out there, letting people know that we are here, we are on the scene. We're actively taking rides in Atlanta. That's the biggest thing that I want to let people know is we're always looking for drivers. There are people that are constantly requesting rides for the app. We're in talks with the airport right now, Hartsville, to be approved onto the airport officially. And so that's going to be a big deal. So yes, we're actively moving behind the scenes outside of the whole. I know raising money seems like a whole big fancy thing for me. I'm not really into all that showing faces, shaking hands, and all that stuff. I like to do the work.
Dog and pony shows. I know.
Yeah, I like to do the work. And so, so I have to do that right now. That's kind of like my main role. And it's kind of got to split time between doing both of those things, but I'd rather be in the field, registering drivers, answering questions, answering the phone when people call, when they have questions about things, making sure the app is up and running, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well,
So when you mentioned, let me ask a question, Tina. When you mentioned that the drivers keep 80% of their fares, is that comparable to other rideshare companies, or is it better? Is it, is that a good thing?
Oh, it's way better. Uber and Lyft are known to keep around 30 to 40%, I want to say. Okay. Maybe 50. But you can ask drivers. I mean, you can just ask the drivers that you've ever been in a rideshare with. You can ask them how much are you making for this trip? Some of them know beforehand. Some of them won't be able to tell you until the end, but it's usually about 40%.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I try to be generous with the tips after the rideshare, and I like the way you do it. You don't have to have cash. You just, and
everything's seamless.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
I like that. So Atlanta is a huge metropolitan area, and I know you want to expand to other places, but Atlanta is just so big. So how much of the area do you cover? Because I hear people all the time say, well, I live in Atlanta, but they really live in some other little town. And I live here and they live in some town I never heard of, because I think they're making up some of the names of these towns since Tina and I lived there many, many years ago. How
Exactly.
much of the area are you covering? I mean, how competitive can you be?
All right, so we tell everybody if you're in the center of Atlanta and you drive 30 minutes in any direction, that's where we cover. That's the radius we cover. So if you live 30 minutes outside of that radius, we don't consider that the Atlanta area. And so we don't cover that yet.
Oh,
A lot of people call me and they ask me like, hey, the app saying you're not available in my area. I'm like, yes, because we're not available in your
okay.
area, because we're not like that's what that means. If you're in our zone, then you are in our zone, you are in our radius. But once we have enough drivers that can meet that demand, once we get towards those outer perimeters of the radius, then we'll start to expand it a little bit
And
more. But yeah, we got to keep the driver demand and customer demand. Like it's a ratio that you have to like keep balanced. Because if I don't have enough requests from my drivers, then my drivers aren't going to log in. And if the drivers aren't logged in, then when the customers log in, they'll see that, and then they're not going to request any
can you
rides.
see the rides on
So
the app like I do on the other ride shares where you can
you can
tell?
see like the cars
Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah. Hmm.
I like that because it tells me how long it's going to be, and
Hmm.
I have time to wait if I'm in a hurry. So I was talking. I love your business idea. And the model, your model is brilliant. And I was talking to a young woman the other day, someone who wants to start her own business. Right now, she's just working on her ideas. But what advice would you give to a young African American woman, or anybody really, who wants to get started on the path as an entrepreneur? What are one of the two things that you would sort of help them as they move forward?
I would say make sure it aligns in the industry that you already love, that you already enjoy. I was already doing rideshare, so I like actually naturally enjoy just being in my car by myself. I enjoy giving people rides. I enjoy kind of having that conversation if people are interested in having a conversation. I enjoy riding in silence if people want to ride in silence. But like I enjoyed that. So it didn't bother me at all. And so me having a rideshare company isn't far-fetched because I was already working in that industry. And so that's what I try to tell people. Like a lot of people try to think, they try to think too hard about what it is they should be doing as an entrepreneur. And it's like, well, if you're already in this industry, why not do this? And then just, have your own.
Yeah.
If you're already a manager or someone highly ranked in some type of industry that you're super good at, you can start your own business in that same industry.
So it sounds
Now,
like go with your passion, whatever your
yeah,
passion.
or go with your passion. That's what I tell people. Go with your passion.
Mhm.
And if your passion can't fund your career yet, or if your passion can't fund it yet, don't quit your day job.
Yeah.
Don't quit your day job. I tell people just find a day job that is a lot less taxing on you mentally and physically.
Mhm.
But keep a job. Don't just not work.
Job. Keep a job, the sisters say,
Yes, please.
very a wise word,
Yeah.
wise words.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, Jillian, if drivers or investors want to reach out to you, work with you, especially other cities across the country, how can they do this?
They can reach out to us through email. So we have an email. It's admin@getherride.com. So that's GETHERIDE.com. And so you can email me. Or you can reach out to us on social media. We're at our tag on social media is @GetHerRide on all social media platforms. So you can reach out to us through DM there. I may be a little bit more slow on that response. I'm a lot quicker on my email. So I just tell everybody, just please email us. That we do have a number on our website that people try to call. I tell people also, please text that number because we don't answer that number very often. If you want a quick response, you can get a quick response from us through email or text message.
Great.
Oh yeah, this is a new generation, Wanda. Oh no, we'll get back to you with a quick text, okay?
Tina and
Yeah,
I we're always teasing because Tina likes to text and I like email because I tell her my fingers are too fat for the little keys on the phone, but I'm trying to hang in there.
so they can get you We'll have all this information. We'll have all your information on the
YouTube version. We'll
YouTube.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. People will get in touch with you.
yeah,
Woo!
yeah.
Well, Wanda,
Jillian, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your wisdom with us. This has been wonderful. And
No
again,
problem.
you know, support this sister and her team. We're so proud of you, and we look forward to calling HERide on the next time we're in Atlanta, or maybe someday when we're in Miami or Chicago or Los Angeles or
Exactly.
Dallas or somewhere else, all over the place. So thanks so much, and we just wish you all the best luck. We do.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
absolutely. Good for you.
Tina, it's time for us to drop some wisdom, but I don't know if I have much wisdom this time. I don't know. My wisdom jar is getting empty right now. So maybe after vacation, I'm going to have some more. But I just thought about just this little one. And I know I've said this before in another way, but I guess my wisdom is take care of your body. You're never too young or too old to take care of your body. And this is much for me as it is for our listeners, because I'm trying to do better. I'm drinking more water. I'm really feeling good about the water I'm drinking. I'm eating healthier. I'm trying to get more sleep because, you know, our sister Janetta told us a long time ago that we need to get more sleep. But I know I need to get back in the gym. And I guess that's my biggest challenge, to find the time, because I love going to the gym. I just haven't been finding the time. So I'm trying to listen to these 73-year-old aches and pains and using ice on my leg when it hurts after I walk the dog. So that's my wisdom. Take care of your body. How about you, Tina? You got any wisdom this time?
Well, Wanda, I hope people look at the YouTube so they can see me looking at you.
What?
You stole my wisdom.
I did?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I
My
thought you stole mine.
My wisdom is to you, well, sis, let me tell you, learned lessons from an old chick's busy weekend. And that is start being active right now. Wherever you are, I mean, going up and down stairs and keeping up with people and driving. If I had not been active a little bit, I really wouldn't have been able to do that. So you start now being active. If you're young, you start now for a lifetime. If you're middle-aged, now is the time to make that commitment. As Wanda said, my guest this weekend told us a few months ago.
Yeah.
Sleep was so important. Sleep was vital. Mm-hmm. So you make that commitment to take care of yourself. And if you're an old chick like Wanda and me, and Wanda and me, well, I was just laughing because I remember something you or I said. You said, "Let your butt be your guide."
Ooh,
stamina. One of the things that I noticed when I was at Wanda's house one time, and she was at the kitchen sink, and she had on her dog walking clothes, and I looked up and I went, "Oh my goodness, your butt is beautiful." It was high and strong, and I said, "Oh my goodness, you could serve tea off your behind." It was so high and wonderful. I mean, this is a 73-year-old butt. I don't mean to.
No, it was only 72. It was probably 72.
That's why. I have seen your butt. And one of the reasons is Wanda, even before she got a dog and started walking her dog regularly, she would go to the track, she would go to the Y. She always kept, kept going. And so now I'm envious of her butt. So I'm going to have to start walking.
I wish you could have some of it.
It's a thing. Wanda, it's a thing of beauty. It really is.
It might be. But it might be. But the pants don't always fit so good. So
wait a minute. I asked you. I said, "Do you have on those like tight?" Fitting, didn't I ask you?
You asked if I had on Spanx.
I asked if she had on Spanx. I sure did. Yeah. And she reached down and pulled the fabric to show that it was just
me.
Regular little pants, with nothing to it. So yeah. Let Wanda's butt be your guide. It's gonna be my guide from now on.
That's too much wisdom. Too much personal wisdom.
I want flexibility, stamina, muscle mass, all those things that keep us active as we get older. So now it's the time to start. I can't believe you stole my.
I'm sorry.
You will see on the YouTube that we of course were red again. We never planned this, but we've been together so long that we often match, even if we didn't know it. So we didn't talk about this beforehand. I didn't want them to think we were trying to be twins.
No.
Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of Two Old Chicks Who Know a Lot of Shit. If you're on social media, please subscribe on your YouTube and follow us on Twitter at Chicks Old and on IG at Two Old Chicks Podcast.
And also remember
Wanda?
the collection of essays that Tina and I co-edited is Meeting at the Table, African American Women Write on Race, Culture, and Community. It's available at Down South Press. That's downsouthpress.com.
Thank you, Wanda. Until next time, love and peace.
Bye-bye, everybody. Love, love.